So we're just live now. I think that works. So we will just wait a few minutes so we can gain new viewers here. So we just wait a few minutes, then we can start to show the project of our new track PULSAR together with BL3R. John? So I think we're pretty much ready to go. John?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but turn your music a bit down, yeah?
What? Yeah.
So... I think there's can be a bit more, so come on. So John,
Yeah.
I think you can start now with the intro.
How's it going?
So John will explain now how he did the intro of PULSAR.
So we'll just start with like from just beginning, I guess. So I'll just go through up till the drop, and then you show them the drop layers and shit on the computer.
John, can you turn on PULSAR?
What's up?
Can you stop the music, or can you start from scratch now
Yeah.
from the intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess we're just diving into the project file. Basically, we wanted to create a song that was similar to one of our progressive releases called it was Heat, like 2 years ago, and so we started with like a similar art. So went in here, Spire. Really nothing crazy. Really nothing there besides a couple effects lines. Usually, typically, I'll take the bass line from the drop and then just like filter it under the intro. Just kind of like that's like the drop bass and filtered it in. So. Lots of effects going on here. One thing that really I liked in this track was actually the siren and let me see the melody. Let's see where. Yeah. So that's actually a vocal sample from this this thing called Exhale. It's a VST by Native Instruments in Contact, and it's a really cool instrument. Basically, it's like a modern vocal machine, and it has like 1,000 different samples and notes. So it's basically like you don't even need a vocal chop to do vocal chops and MIDI slice anymore. You really have this thing because there's just so many different things you can do with it. So basically, if you can hear right, it's like. So that added like a lot of energy to the melody. It gave it like that festival feel. So. I know a lot of people are going to be asking like about the vocal like conversation kind of thing that's going on before the melody. So that's basically all Exhale as well. So solo is. So without it, it'd be like. These are basically just arps. I just wrote in some chords that I liked, and then I found some cool arp in like silence. It's just like basic art. And then I found this cool lick right here. Just a one-liner. Just inspired. I like to use this plugin called Erosion on pianos a lot now. I actually use it in a lot of mid chords and progressive tracks too. It gives a nice little crush to it. And adds like some life, some shine. And that was actually. And then basic bass. So yeah, all those vocal samples are all Exhales. So if you want stuff that sound like that, download Exhale and play around with it. You get some really cool results.
Yeah, exactly.
And basically, and then another layer we added in there was just this vocal art I found, just a sample. Yeah, actually I might have bounced it. I forget. There's so many layers there, but you kind of see how this filters in. So, we're gonna head out to the build. We're gonna head over to the build after the super basic build, really. Nothing out of the ordinary. So, Marvin's going to go ahead and explain the top of the drop in a minute here. Those are bounce files. I want to first show the bass because I added some cool. Did I use R bass? Yes. Never mind. I thought this was for another track. I was gonna say I used R bass from Waves, but I actually just did some mid-side mixing with the EQ.
Yes.
So I need to give you the bass. Nice top layer from Nexus, from the Sweetest House sample pack, or the expansion. And then this is my favorite. I use this bass in Heat and in Bora Bora and a few other tracks we've done. Always works nice in the top. This is a super nice crunch. And then the basic curve with Heat. And then added a little extra side chain. I always put a compressor just with a light side chain on the top of the group just to kind of filter out any remaining like reverbs or whatever it may be clouding the mix, so it just makes it sound a little crazy. And then mids, like I said, here's Erosion again. It's like a rhythmic piano. So this makes a lot of difference. So without the mid chords, it's kind of empty in the mid, so really good to have that there. And then just a pad from Nexus. Always gotta have the mid chords are really important in these type of tracks because you gotta have that filled out. All right, Marvin, you want to show them the top?
Yes. So you're just done with your part, I think.
Yeah, I mean, really, if they want to ask me questions, I can't see the live stream on my computer right now.
So, guys, if you have any questions, just post them down below in the comments, and we will answer them.
I don't mean to go through it super quick. I didn't really know exactly how to explain it in full detail until I asked some questions. So.
Yes. So,
whatever you want.
I will move now the melody. So I will show you how we did the. The conversation between Houston and Astronaut. Let's start with this first. So we just worked separately and we worked on FL Studio, and I will show you real quick how we did the conversation between Houston and the Astronaut. So it's just basically a sample from I think I took it from the official NASA website. Pretty funny, so you can. It was just.
Okay, we had a problem here. This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B plus audible. Roger, main B interval. Okay, stand by at 13. We're looking at it.
And we just added some EQing, some compressing to fit out some rumble there. I think, yes. It was separately done. Some basic EQing and compressing, and we add some reverb on the end here to make a smooth transition to the melody. How many super saws we layered? Yeah, I will show you that real quick. First of all, we started with a reverse effect. It's just done so you can just do it. 1 second, need to turn off the laptop. So okay, yeah, we did the reverse effect. So we just took the first note of the melody, and you hear a whole bunch of reverb on it, and we just marked here and render it. So we got already a sample. I can do it real quick here. So we just render it. It's pretty difficult to hold the camera and explain. So just call it your reverse effect. Then render it. And then we go. Ah, fuck. Okay. But basically what I mean, you can place the reverse effect here, so it's just reversed here, so. And reversed, it sounds like this. So we cut it to first things off here, so because the reverb is sidechained, and I can explain you how I did this. So I need to move on here. So you can hear the reverb is coming in with a pretty bit delay, and I send it every part of the melody. I send it through a bus, so I have a bus for every single layer here. Let me just show you how I did this. So you can see here it's just a silent synth. Show the melody, so take a screenshot and rebuild it, guys. So now let's back to the sidechain. You can route your channel to a separate channel. I did this here with channel 2, so that's my reverb bus. And I have here the Valhalla room. Send your depth on your mix from your reverb to 100%. And then you're pretty much done. So and then it comes the trick in. You need to your limiter, send your compression here. Yeah, pretty strange here to explain. Okay, well, let's move. Okay, channel 1 is going to the bus here, and then you select 1 to your sidechain compress, and then you play around with the ratio. The higher do you set it, how much the more delay you will get to. So that's just how the basic trick of reverb sidechain. Okay, and that I did this with every single layer here, so I can show you just how many layers I have here for this SuperSAR. Just a pretty simple SAR I took from a sample pack, I think. Yeah, just a bit higher with more crunch and a bit more distortion. It's actually not that much on a effect channel. It's just some basic EQing, Fab Filter Saturnus on it, with also some just different and small kind of things. It's just here. It's just not that much. I added just some more highs to give it more crispiness in the highs. Yes, now let's next layer. Also just a simple chord. I always cut my chords down below, so I think around 250 Hertz, so you don't have much rumble in the lows, and you have more space in your mix, and it sounds much cleaner. Also just some little things in the highs filter. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. So what I did here is just basically I took the top lead of the melody, and we'll show you real quick what's on the effect channel. And here you can see it's just a camel crusher on it with some huge distortion, some compressing. Always do the EQing, cut the lows, some other EQing, and that's done. It's not that much, it's just keep it simple, and if it sounds good, it is good. Keep that in mind. Something just for the mids. Then we move on. actually it's just the init sound from Nexus, and I used this for the I think it's for the mid lows. So I just released all the reverb, all the release, and yeah, just some basically cueing the Camel Crush on it. For the bass, I don't think you can hear it yet, but it's took this from the Cashmere pack. It's called Big Sub 2, and we just boost the highs a bit and cut it down below 20 Hz, so you have not much rumble there. It's also just for the mids to give it more punch. Yeah, those two parts here are basically one of the most important things on a melody, so because they give them the power of the highs, and you can play them without the elements, so you can hear the difference. Yes, that's basically how the melody is done. But it's just not much in the mix. You need just to fit your mix in with the volume and stuff. You can see it's pretty low, taken low here. But it sounds really fresh in the mix, and I think that's almost an important thing. So if you think it sounds good, it is good. What's down below the melody, it's just some samples here. Some basic impact sounds. Some sweeps. And of course, I took a part of a chorus, I think it's from Kashmir. It gives some more atmosphere and some more vibe to the melody. Yeah, some claps. And you can see here a big section that's just the pitch of every single layer here, so I just wrote them with this little tool here, so you can just adjust the pitch here, so you can see the pitch goes down, the melody also do this tape step effect. Without it would sound some pretty strange, I think, but it gives it's a cool effect, so you can use it, of course. Okay, here comes the vocal in again. So we just put a delay and a huge reverb here, and to make this transition pretty smooth to the build-up and to the bridge, and so we can move on now to this bridge here. Just a simple sub drop, and I think now, yeah, we have here a plug. I can show you real quick. Just a silence. Also here's some cutting all low frequencies out, some EQing, putting a Camel Crush on it to give it more yeah, like wideness and compression. So you can hear without the Camel Crusher, and here is a width. That's just basically the plucked sound. And here's some melody playing with a filter. So every filter is closing here, so we have yeah, Cashmere is everywhere. Okay, the pre-dub vocal is just 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Also not that much, just EQing, compressing, and that's pretty much it. So here we just have some sweeps. So I put some extra reverb on it to give it more room. That's just the melody I rendered, or I produced a drop in a separate project. I will show you that later on. Yeah, that's just a build up. And now we can move to the other project, to the drop project. And then I will show you how we did the drop. And I think a lot of people asked us how we did the fill and this curious effect with the tape sub, and it's basically just some simple e-guitar sample. We detuned a much. I'll just show you real quick. Whoa. Okay. Now that's just a drop project, and we will start here. First of all, I will show you how I did the bass. It's just a sub. I rendered also, I did all the bass stuff in another project, but that's too much now for showing. The mids, and here's something for the higher mids. John explained a bit earlier how he added some cool things to the bass line, some piano sounds and some other layering. And that's is the melody itself. It's also together with, I think, it's 4 leads. I took that from the Gmax sample pack here. This is the effect channel, also a camera crusher on it, a lot of cutting the low frequencies, some EQing here, some EQing with the fab filter, again some EQing, and for the sidechain we use the Nicky Romero Kickstart plugin. It's, I think, one of the best sidechain plugins out there, so you can really work pretty quick with that plugin, and it's really nice. Okay. It's a second layer, not a third. That's a lead from the Vandalism pack. They have already some pretty cool sounds out there, and you have just to adjust them a bit. We put also camera crash on it, adjusted the distortion to the maximum, and to get this crunchy effect, and also some fruity fast distortion, some cutting out some low frequencies and mid frequencies. and some basic EQing. Also there's a reverb on it, it's just a huge amount of decay. And of course the Nicky Romero kickstart. Just basically did this on every single layer here. Why separate project for intro and drop? I do this because my CPU fucked up when I did already just the arrangement for the bass, and yeah, that's why we used separate projects. I always basically 3 projects, I think. It's melody, drop, and the bass for the drop. Yes, that's right. CPU. Yeah, then we use some white noise and some kind of mammoth lead to give him more highs, and yeah, very more stronger, like Carnage would say it. We added a lot of white noise here because white noise gives some crunchiness, and this is very important for this drop, I think, because you have very much going on in the high frequencies here. Yeah, you can send demos to jaxxvega@gmail.com. I think Blair could post his email also here. And we always listen to demos for a podcast or for live shows, so you can just send all your demos to jaxxvega@gmail.com. We will listen to them. Also just some exhaust here. And what I also did on the drop is I reversed some elements from the first notes, so we have a smoother transition between the following notes. So I show you here. And give some more vibe and some more atmosphere to the drop, I think. Yeah, and that's just basically the melody itself. Just a basic kick. So we now move on to the fill here. Okay, now let's start here. Just a basic snare fill. You can hear just a reverb, kind of reverse bass effect. You have some toms with reverb on it. Also some high toms. And of course the famous Prider snare. Okay, now we come to the part which is pretty cool, I think. It's just a simple e-guitar sample, I think. I found that on a AU5 sample pack. And I found the first 4 notes are pretty cool, and I just started playing with it. I put it, first of all I put it at the end, some tapes of effect. 1 second. The stutter effect is just normally a gross beat. So I can show you here just one 8-bit gate. I also cut it out a whole bunch of frequencies and some huge reverb on it with 7.4 dk. And that's pretty much the whole effect. It's pretty simple, but I think it sounds super cool in the track. And of course, I think it's the reverse bass. I reversed again, so I got this. Here's also this bleep effect. It's also just pretty simple. It's just pitch down here. I think it was 3 cents. Then I got up to 100 cents, and then I continue with plus 100 to get the right key. It's F and the whole key is in F. And then the second part of the drop comes in a new element. It's just a layer of it, and I changed some notes to give it this layer effect. Yeah, I can show you what's on the effect channel here. Of course, just a camel crusher. Some EQing to cut off all the low frequencies to give your mix more space. And we took off some other frequencies, boosted the highs a bit. Maybe you know that from a lot of W&W tracks, and yeah. Here just some toms. That's pretty much the whole drop. So if you have any questions, just post them down below and I will go to my laptop. So John, you're here already? Don't know if you can hear me. Okay. Yeah, we're checking promos I think every week, so just send them over. I have the Bass FLP on a separate computer, so I can't show you that yet. But maybe I'll do it in the future on a separate live stream. Okay, some more questions? Maybe I can show you show you a master channel here. On the other project with the melody. Okay. So I did some mastering with T-Rex CS, just a cool plugin for mastering. Blair did all the mastering for this track, but I always do it to put my master plugin on every single track I start, so it's just easier to hear what it sounds like in the end. Some other producers do that and don't put anything on their master channel, but I do that like this. Yes, I do. I use it reverb on Sense. So I already showed it here, so maybe you just tuned in yet, so I can show you all our buses here. All channels at Red Market are our reverb buses. and every single layer goes through this bus, so you have a separate bus for every single layer. So just some more questions. Thank you very much. Tips for a good work on a mix. Yeah, like I said, cut off every frequencies you don't really need, because at the end when you mix everything together and play with volume and stuff, you have frequencies you don't want to be there. So just cut everything you don't need. If you use higher lead sounds, cut everything until it sounds pretty muddy or something like this, so you have much more space at the end and your mix will sound cleaner. I use the Yamaha HS8 here, and some I think that are old monitors, they don't in use anymore. I need to remove them very soon. What frequencies to boost and cut in super source while layering them in a break? Okay. Yeah, we just cut it out some frequencies we don't want to hear in the sounds. 1 second. We don't really do much of EQing because all the sounds we used are pretty much perfect, so we just adjust the volume of it, put some basic EQing in, like really some just minimal changes, and don't do that much EQing. It's will fuck up your sound, I think. Some of the stuff from the break sound we did by ourselves, and just some others are taken from all the from the Vandalism pack, and you should check them out. They are really good sounds. Some kind of explain. This is a saw we did by ourselves. It's just for the lows. Did that also by ourselves, just tweaked a bit around, and I think we stuck around 1 or 2 hours to get it sound perfect. And you can see here it's just some little EQing. Yeah. Boom. Okay guys, I think we're pretty much done with the live stream, so we'll just check some few more comments. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. No, not just EQs, there are also a compressor. I'll just the Camel Crusher on it with some huge compression and some distortion. Does the superstars need to be wired with plugins like Wave SS1? I don't think so, because I think all our layers are in mono. So I don't think you need the S1. I know it's a really cool plugin, but I don't have it here yet, I think. No, I don't got it, but I think you can use it and you can play around with it. If it sounds cool, use it. If not, it works like this for us. Okay guys, thank you for tuning into the live stream. If you have any questions, just post them down below. We try to answer them. Yeah, what do you use in the master? I already showed that you can just turn or switch back in the live stream, and maybe I can show you a bit more of it. Just a EQ here, a compressor, and of course another free band EQ and a limiter. That's just basically on the master, but the final mastering is done by Blair, so that's just my master. I produce with that every time, so I can really get the maximum out of this project to send it to Blair, and they're already topped our master, so we just took their master. So I think we are done here. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you guys soon.